I'm Ward Blackwell. Welcome to Front Street 411. As the legislative session is beginning to get more active, it's sometimes helpful to bear in mind that government, while necessary, often works less well than we'd like. And today, I'll be sharing with you some observations from a few folks like PJ O'Rourke, who put it better than I ever could. As a reminder, PDA's agenda for this session emphasizes dental insurance reform legislation. Now, our focus will first be on improving the credentialing processes used by insurers, which includes utilizing CAQH credentialing data developed by the ADA. That bill has already been filed, and it will be followed shortly by PDA's dental medical loss ratio legislation. Now, while that was inspired by the referendum that passed in Massachusetts a couple of years ago, but which still has not been recorded as a statute, the PDA's dental MLR bill will take the approach of many other states by starting with a reporting requirement. PDA will also be looking to tackle issues with network leasing. In particular, we'll introduce legislation that addresses dentist issues with not being informed that the network they've joined is being leased to many other insurance companies. Of course, getting all these bills passed could be a challenge for reasons such as those suggested by Mark Twain many years ago. Another PDA bill that has already been introduced would restore adult Medicaid benefits. Not only would this help patients, but many practices will benefit too, especially in low-income areas. Plus, this could be a nice boost for Pennsylvania's dental schools. Both DHS and DOH have indicated support for this, but sometimes support from the top may not be enough. Anyway, PDA's legislative ground game really kicked into high gear this week with a couple of important events. First, PDA leaders hosted a dinner for members of the House Insurance Committee. This is a really important group this year because most of PDA's bills will likely have to pass out of this committee. We also hosted a luncheon at the Capitol for all legislators this week. Now, this event took place within the office of the House Majority Caucus Secretary and was very well attended by both legislators and PDA leaders. In short, this was some good old-fashioned grassroots lobbying, which is still very important, even as many things in politics may be changing these days. Of course, it is also helpful to combine that lobbying and a strong grassroots effort with campaign contributions to key players. Now look, like it or not, helping to fund politicians' campaigns just makes them more likely to really listen to your issues. You might not like that it's that way, but as Ronald Reagan observed, it's kind of just the way the political world works. Shifting gears, I'd now like to recognize the 2025-26 class of PDA's Leadership Academy. This year's program will kick off in July and will feature a mix of in-person and virtual learning opportunities over a 10-month period. Looking forward to seeing you grow, class of 26. Finally, I would note that I've heard in recent weeks from a few local dental societies that we're seeking assistance as they implement PDA's conversion to a tripartite system. Now, as a reminder to everyone, the Tripart Conversion Toolkit is a great resource for anyone working on this and is readily available from PDA. In addition, I'm personally happy to connect district or local society officers with PDA's legal counsel should they require that kind of assistance. And I can assure you that that assistance will be better than whatever inspired this quote. Well, that does it for this edition of the 411. See you next time.